Yo, what up? Preach Christ or die. I'm finally gonna make a video about this John MacArthur situation because I've seen everyone's opinions. I've seen Seiko Woods, Ruslan, who I like listening to, especially Seiko Woods. I respect Seiko. Seiko goes hard though. Seiko, whatever he believes, he goes hard with it, and it is what it is. I disagree with him with this, but let me tell y'all why. And when it comes to this, I don't hear no one speaking about this. I think that there's so much that we don't know about this situation, about the MacArthur situation. I think that because we're not hearing from MacArthur, right? Because we're not hearing to the people who did the counseling for the woman, we just seeing what their side says. We don't know it all. So we left in the dark with a lot of stuff. But and when you're left in the dark, you left the whole side out that can possibly sway a lot of stuff. Well, in that, you hear people like Ruslan's like, there's nothing that could come to light that can change the way we see this. Well, that's a very immature statement to make. That's a very silly statement. Of course, something could come to light that can change this. Okay, so you have the woman. I'm not saying the woman's right or wrong. She could be right, and MacArthur and them will be disciplined by the Lord for handling that situation wrong, if they believe he's wrong. And if you say that a person's defending MacArthur because you respect him and you listen to him, you like, he could do, that man ain't my God. That man can do a lot wrong in my eyes, and I've seen him do a lot wrong doctrinally. Now, when it comes to sin, I really don't stay on people's life. I've never seen MacArthur caught in no scandals like that. But doctrinally, I disagree with him with a few things. But he's always been on this church discipline thing. And how he did that woman, he's always said, even from the Bible, I believe he did that right. I got questions about the church discipline, but that's just for another time. Okay, the lady says that she went to the church to say that my husband's doing A, B, and C to me, abusing the kids and everything. Okay, then they get to going into it with the counseling. Okay, if you're John MacArthur and you have about, right now, I say MacArthur is what 12,000 people at that church? Back then, maybe what, 4,000? 4,000 back then? That's a lot of people for one man. So you have a lot of pastors, you have a lot of counselors that's around. John MacArthur is not counseling every person in that church. I doubt if he even does any, because of the responsibility that he has studying the word and getting prepared for the next sermon. So you have these people that you have vetted and you have set into place because you trust their character and you trust that they know how to teach the Bible. Doesn't mean you can't make mistakes in doing that. Well, these same people, I'm not talking about the man who did the crime, the supposed crime. They interviewing her. They counseling the family. They say to MacArthur put these people in charge, and they saying, we don't find no fault in what that guy's doing. We think that she needs to just go back to her husband and do whatever. And if they do find a fault, it's not to the extent where they think that she should not go back to her husband. Okay. They go back and they tell MacArthur that. So MacArthur's like, you got to trust the men that you put in charge, right? You trust their input because they did the legwork, right? They did the heavy lifting. They interviewed the lady. They've been through all this counseling with both of them. So they're saying that something is not consistent. Now the thing is, we don't know what that is because they don't talk. They're not saying nothing. But all I'm saying is, what did they see in them counseling sessions, in to where they are taking the side of the man. Or we're just gonna say that Grace to You is just a chauvinistic place where all they do is defend men and everything. To say that, that's foolish, because there's no proof of that going on. There's no proof of that. John MacArthur just taking men's side and everything. Not, they don't even care if they molest their kids. They're gonna take them. I think people are pushing with that. They're going with the narrative because they want to run with this lady that's saying that MacArthur has done something wrong. But if you are over a place, because they're saying that why did he do that? If you're over a place and you put these people in charge and you tell them that they do that, that they're going to be the one to counsel people, and they come to you and they're like, look, she's not repentant. We don't see the wrong that she's saying that this man has done. And then it's time to discipline. It's time to bring it to the church. And MacArthur's going by the information. What, you want them to go up the church and do that? Nah, you're the pastor. You need to be the one to do that. And I'm pretty sure they went through everything that was said between her and her, but he's going to take the side of the people doing the counseling because he trusts them. That doesn't mean that they can't be wrong, but if you hire people to do that, then when it comes time to, like when a judge has juries and the juries make a decision, yeah, the judge can overlook it, but he has to see the evidence to say that he's going to overturn the juries that he picked. Now, MacArthur picked these people, and they decided that whatever was said, that man was not guilty. Now, the court said he was guilty on whatever, but if you stand here listening, you know that you can go to jail and you could be innocent at the same time. I'm not saying that man is. I don't know. But I know that just because a woman says that a man did something, that don't always mean that it's true. Now, he could be, and MacArthur could have dropped the ball, but that's not what they're saying. They're not saying nothing, which leads me to believe that they're sticking to what they always said, that they found inconsistencies with her story, and that they don't see where he's done. They don't see the evidence that says that he's done this, that she's accusing him of. And so if you don't see the evidence that they're accusing him of, you go tell John MacArthur that you don't see what she's talking about. That we're giving her the opportunity to step forward. And they made a decision to do the church discipline with her. Now you can say that that's wrong, but that's what they believe. That's what they're always believed. That they're giving her the opportunity. What if she is wrong? Because we don't know. You're only getting the side of her. And just because a man is in jail because of that, that does not mean that he did the worst part of what they're saying. Now, he admitted to abusing. He admitted to hitting or whatever he said he did. But I don't think they have no evidence for the hard stuff that they saying he did, the molestation or whatever they saying that he did. So I think that it's so much more into this. I think that it's so deep for us to make a decision, or he's right, he's wrong, or why. I just think it's so much because we don't know the other side at all. All we could do is guess. And for someone to say, oh, there is no other side, you are silly. There's always another side. And the thing is, for the people that you saying, oh, the people that support MacArthur, for the people that say that they're wrong, for one, you don't know the other side, so why are they supporting them? And if someone accuses you of something and you didn't do it, wouldn't you want your friends to stick by you? Wouldn't you want your friends to, and they know the truth, and it's like, look, I know it sounds crazy, I didn't do it. There's no evidence saying that I did do it, so it's only what she's saying. Because everyone that counsels them is saying that that's not what happened. That's not what they see. Why? Do they just hate them? Do they just hate the women? Why is everyone who's counseling these people say that that's not what they're seeing? Because of he worked for Grace to You? So you think that they would rather take the side of a man who's hurting Grace to You more than just because he's working there? Nah, I don't see that, but I don't know. Now, if it comes out and they're wrong, say, man, MacArthur's not our God. Every time I see a pastor fall, it shows me that that can happen to all of us. Inside of all of us is the ability to do evil. And we have to stay trusting in the Lord for mercy and grace that does not happen to us. But like I said, we're living in a day where if a Christian sins, we have Christians that's acting like, you know how back in the day, if a Christian sins, you have the non-believers, they're like, oh, you're supposed to be a Christian. Now we have Christians doing that now. When you ought to know that the temptation is always there. Sin is always there, waiting for you to just take the bait. Why you think you need a savior? Because you can't do it. But there's a whole bunch to this MacArthur thing that I just think that we're not getting the answers to. I don't think we'll ever get the answers to. So I don't think we're going to ever be able to judge this, because MacArthur don't really come out defending himself to begin with all the time. Every time someone makes an accusation about that man, he's just, I guess that's the Lord handling. But until we hear both sides, we can't just say, oh, there's no other side. You don't know that, man. You don't know that. That's crazy to say that just because the woman says it, that's right. Or just because, why did they take his side? What did they hear in the meetings to make them decide to take his side? And if you're saying it's just because they hate women, or they just because she's going after him, the husband, and you have to prove that. What's the motive for them to just take his side like that? Preach Christ or die. Later.